So some of this stuff is like where, in reality, these like drug metros need to be, they need to be governed. See, when they sit around with groups from AA and Mothers Against Drunk Driving and shit, torturing people in speakers, I mean, whatever justification they come up with, you people are murdering somebody. And that is what it really is. See, just because you guys have some weird blocks in a fucking S&M about murder block and suicide block, see, you guys are torturing somebody into killing themselves. That is a murder. And so, regardless of what this tech psycho shit, you people have demonstrated not being able to do that stuff authentically. You people are focusing on people that aren't even in that category. So just remember that all of your guys' justification is, yeah, okay, so here's some reality. Sure. The government knows about hacker tech psychos and what they're able to do and shit. They know about these S&M methods of control and shit, and people gathering groups and S&Ms that have speakers and torturing them and shit. The government knows that. So your guys' justification is being the group that then focuses on the tech psycho. But see, if you guys are going after people that aren't that, then what you guys are trying to build influence with breaks down. Because sure, the government knows the difficulty of the tech psycho issue. Alright? So whatever kind of like behind the scenes, taking it upon yourself idea, you guys demonstrated going after a person that doesn't fall into that category. I mean, the attempted murder shit that you guys are doing is so illegal for a government to do, and that then you guys are trying to justify defense, like a Second Amendment kind of idea. But see, you guys demonstrated going after somebody that isn't attacking you. So, this is where you guys pretty much just need to realize that the behind the scenes looking the other way stuff that you guys are trying to utilize as a defense, you guys demonstrated going after a victim of all of you and trying to get that person to commit suicide. Right? That is what it is. That is what it seems like. That is what they're noticing. And so, any of these drug metros that are engaged in this torture button of the tech psycho shit, they need to cease and desist because they have demonstrated an extreme bias to something that they weren't ever allowed to be biased about. Tech psycho or nothing. And that was always what that stuff behind the scenes was. I mean, the Steve Bannon, Q, fucking Annan shit, that stuff, the FBI fuck club and stuff. That stuff. The Steve Bannon knew that they had to be pedoey perfect. They couldn't just be pissed at somebody and be a tech psycho. That's what those people are. And so, I mean, this is the reality. This is where it comes from. Yeah, they won't admit it, but here's what the real reality of intelligence is on this. And that, you know what? Fuck those fucking people, because this stuff affects all these fucking corporations and shit. And that's basically. And so, this is why I put things on their corporate sites and shit. Because they have a right to know this stuff. Right? It's like, you know, all my research found FBI agents with groups of fucking cops and shit everywhere. YouTube hijacking like a merc. They hijacked subversively YouTube. And then they do it to other sites and Craigslist and shit like that. I mean, that is what it is. And that is essentially where, you know, this problem became such a problem at like Google Plus or whatever, that they shut it down. And I mean, in ways, the Experience Project, they basically shut that down because they got hijacked by a bunch of sociopaths. And then they restarted a new one, basically. And so now it's happening all over again. And so this idea about subversively forcing people that make decisions about taking down people's accounts, that is their method of hijack of YouTube. See, they target the people that make decisions. And then they sit subversively with the rest of the company, not really knowing about what they're doing. So, essentially at YouTube, you just find the people that actually review whether those accounts should be taken down or not. Those people, then, essentially, if you're up there and bored, then you find a specific one that doesn't fall into any of the rules, basically, because more than likely they'll be extorted or something into taking down a specific account. And so if you stumble across one that isn't actually violating any of the rules of YouTube for that type of stuff, then the gods on high should get right on their screen and go, why are you trying to take that down? Then you'll start, then just explicitly state, like, police officers and FBI agents are illegally forcing our company to be taking things down. They have to go to the law department. And you say that to your filters or whatever, and you shove it in their fucking face. And then 4 days later, you put the recording in their fucking face again. And then 5 days later, you put it in their fucking face again. And you do it over and over to groom them. Okay? So then it goes against their little forgetty problem for being a tech nerd on dark web and shit. And then it constantly reinforces the memory that they need to be having. And you just keep doing it. And then this is how you take away this law enforcement hijack of YouTube. They isolate victims by forcing those people to take down victims who are talking about their victimization. The law enforcement is. So this is how you counteract those stupid little Satany piggies. And then, if you're that tech nerd, attempt to make friends that hate those cops on your dark web. And then start to live broadcast their psychological breakdown over it. And then pay back your hacker bucks.